We're here.
I think it is. I think we're here. Let's see. I'm gonna go chat. Okay. Caption. I've been getting better with the captions and all of that. I'm getting up to speed. Hey, everyone! It's Wednesday. Uh, welcome to the Chasing Gazillions. Is not the same as making millions,
But it's close.
but it's close.
Year 1, episode 5.
Wednesdays with Fernando and Anthony, two real estate professionals, just talking about their life experiences and journey towards a successful career in real estate. And we come here live to you every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live to share with you. Well, we don't know because it's unscripted. So we don't really know what we're going to be sharing with you. But we promise that it's going to be beneficial, entertaining, informative. We're going to be giving you, this is from the street. This is combined. This is about over 65 years of real estate experience.
Front lines. We're on the front lines.
Front line. That's right.
Every day.
Every day, what we are out here doing, what we out here seeing, and we're sharing it with you. You could come in live and chat with us, ask us questions. We would love to ask questions. I don't have the picture up yet, but before we get started, we want to talk about our sponsor. We have one sponsor so far. That's right. We have a sponsor. The Global Scholars Foundation. Hold on. You know what? Oh, I couldn't bring up the photo. That's right.
He got in cheap, right? I mean, we're paying him actually to sponsor us. That's pretty
right.
cheap.
That's right. We're paying the sponsor to let us say the sponsor's name. and Global Scholars Foundation. They do great work taking District of Columbia public school kids 9 through 12th grade through an 18-month immersion financial literacy program. They learn about a community and a culture, and then they go there for 2 weeks to the actual place. So they've gone to places like China, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Ethiopia, Egypt, South Africa, Spain. They've been all over the world. These kids go, and this group picks up the entire tab. And so they're always looking for support. Well, in October 2nd.
They're good guys on top of it. Really decent, nice guys.
They are good people. And we're going to have them on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to have them on the show.
Good.
As soon as we get all the kinks worked out here, we're going to have them on the show. And they're having their 3rd annual brunch and golf outing October 2nd and 3rd.
I'll be there.
At the Country Club of Woodmore. They're going to have a brunch on Sunday. That's right, golf course. They're going to have a brunch on Sunday, the 2nd, from 11 to 3, and then golf on Monday. Shotgun start, 8:30 to 1:30, what have you. There's going to be more to come about the Global Scholars Foundation. Go online and visit them at globalscholarsfoundation.org.
I'm spending the night at the clubhouse that night.
That's right. We're going to have a great time. Hey, man, speaking of spending the night, what's been happening with you and the family here this past week?
What about the Caps? You didn't even mention me.
I didn't see it. I did see that, but
Game 5. Game 5 tonight.
Is that right?
Game 5's tonight against the Florida Panthers.
Wow.
The team that I grew up in Miami, but they weren't there when I was there.
Okay.
But I'm a Caps fan, so I'm here rooting them on. So this week, I did have that closing last Thursday. Closed a property for At Home, a client of mine. They're furnishing place. Hopefully, a possible sponsor in the future.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
I had a closing in Lubbock, Texas. Worked on that for 3 years. Finally got done.
Okay, good.
Grinder, got it done. I got two
Hey,
more.
breaking news.
Yes.
I don't think you were supposed to say this.
What?
But let me see. Let me see if I can do it. Jeremy A. Jensen. He's SOIR and CCIM. He's a fellow CCIM like I am. He just unsubscribed from my show.
That ain't right.
We got our first guy to say, "Hey, I don't want to hear from you. Unsubscribe me." And here's the thing: it's your right to unsubscribe from information that you're not interested in. But what I never understand is
it something I said? Is it something I said? It just got started.
But here's the thing. Oh man.
I'll keep talking. You go ahead.
Yeah, because I've been waiting for this client call.
Go. So this week had a closing.
Go ahead.
I'm working on a really big RFP right now. Trying to get that done. I am working on a couple other listings, trying to get that done. Family's good. Son's home from college. He is now working. Went back to work literally like 3 days after he got back home, which was great. We're happy to get him back home. And hopefully my middle daughter, who graduates in 2 weeks, will be home soon as well. But it looks like she may be staying in New York. So, which is fine. Either way, I can, I'm going to help her out. I'm going to go up there.
I just need you to tell me where I need to send this offer, dear. Tell me what's the best way to send
go to her graduation on the 22nd of May. And I got a big month planned for the rest of the month. Going to Pinehurst to play golf with the boys. We got 20 of us going there for a big golf outing at the end of the month, Memorial Day weekend. Can't wait for that to happen. And the podcast on that Wednesday, I will be coming off the golf course in Pinehurst to do that podcast. So it should be interesting what that one turns out to be. But the background will be Pinehurst number 2.
All right.
So can't wait for that.
Let me clear this out with Jeremy. Jeremy, hey, just push unsubscribe. We're real estate professionals. We understand.
We didn't know. I didn't even know people had subscribed. That's the unsubscribe. I didn't know. I mean,
it's fine. What my only thing is, I get it every day because as a real estate broker, I'm out here, I'm prospecting, I'm calling all the time. I'm that guy that's calling all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm sending emails. And people then write back to me and they say, "Hey man, unsubscribe." And I'm saying, why would you just push the unsubscribe button? It's in all of our materials. It's by law. It's your right. Just say unsubscribe and then be done with it. But you get people who are like, "Hey, I got to send you a page and a half to tell you how annoying you are."
Let's stop talking about the haters, man. Let's go.
Okay, fine.
How was your week? Talk to me. What'd you do this week? What's going on with you?
Well,
here we go.
Here we go. What happened this week? Well, I did get some new business, but the bigger thing, did I tell you Absalom came home?
No, I know he was coming home.
He's home.
He's home.
That's my son, Absalom. He's home, but he's only home for a few days because having made it as a walk-on to the University of Memphis football team, he has to be back to practice on the 23rd. Bam. They got to be right back. So they only get a couple weeks. So we're still talking about family, right?
Yeah. Family, business, whatever. Yeah.
Okay. We're leaving in the morning to take a few days off. The family, we're finally going to get a few days off, the whole family together. We're going to go down to Orlando.
Oh, right. You did tell me that.
Yeah, we're going to Orlando. We fly out in the morning, and we're going to spend a few days down in Orlando at Universal
Studios. Yes.
We're going to stay on the property. We're going to stay on site. They have a lazy river. I like the lazy river.
So do I. I could be lazy on that for hours. I just
all
get on a
day.
floaty and just lay there and bake.
Dude,
I love that.
that's all
I love the lazy river.
I've been looking forward to lazy river. Dude, I just get on that big inflatable thing, and then I just lay there, and it may be hard to believe, but I actually come back darker than I am right now.
The sun's a powerful beast.
It is.
It happens.
So we are going. Yes, we are going. The family, we're going to go down in the morning. We're going to spend a few days down there, enjoy ourselves, let them go run around. This is how you should really take your kids to Universal Studios and all these theme parks. Not when they're little kids like we did when they were little kids. We're dragging them around in carts and pushing and carrying them.
Yeah.
No, the way you should take them is when they are 19 and 23 years old, and let them go do whatever you're going to do, however you want to do it.
That's excellent. That is an excellent.
All right, come on. Okay, that's enough. Okay.
So what do we got?
This week we did send out a notice that we were going to be talking to our audience about investing in a second home and investment properties. I got a little surprise for you when it's my opportunity to share.
You want me to start first? I'm going to talk about buying a house, a second home for a vacation home, and which is also an investment, obviously.
Yes.
And you'll talk about the investment side. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
All right, I'll get started then. So, like I said earlier, a few episodes ago, that being in real estate, you have to own real estate. You're a faker if you're not. You have to be an owner of real estate. And I dabbled into the second home industry.
Okay.
Back in 2003, my mom called me and said, "Hey, there's a great opportunity down here in Miami, a place called the Jockey Club." It was like the happening condo building in Miami. It's on Biscayne Boulevard in the 70s, though. So it had been run down a little bit, but it was the penthouse unit, top floor, 27th floor, with roof rights. So you own the roof as well of the building. For $125,000. It was like 12.
Was this in the 70s or it was built in the 70s?
This was 2003. 2003.
Wow.
So I said, I got to go down and see it. Real estate should always be seen before you spend some money, no matter how much money you spend. You always got to look at it. Went down and saw it. There was like 14 units available. Some were like 30 grand on the 4th floor, 50 grand on the 18th floor. It varied. But the idea of buying the penthouse, I felt like I deserved it. It's 2003. I said, okay. So I hooked up with a realtor down there, bought the penthouse.
The real estate professional
in Miami
hooked up with a local real estate professional.
Yes. Thank you for making the clarification.
Yeah.
So I bought the place, pumped a bunch of money into it to make it look nice. Had my brother, who's a contractor, fix it up. It was spectacular, right? Marble flooring, travertine everywhere, just beautiful.
Right.
Then I wasn't renting it at that point. I just had it there. My friends could come, family could come. We went down there 4 or 5 times a year. The kids all came.
Oh wow!
So it was really nice, man. The one thing that was the negative, because the monthly payment was like $400 a month, $500 a month. It was very cheap. Was
that condo? Is that condo fee or mortgage?
The condo, no, that was the mortgage. The condo fee was $927. So all in, I was paying about $1,400 a month for carrying costs, basically, which was a little heavy, but I was making good money. I was like, screw it. I want this place. I'm going to do it. So I did it for a year and a half. And then I rented it out to a lady, a friend of my mom's. I said, hey, I'm probably not going to go down there as much. Why don't you rent it? She said, sure, I'd love to. She rented it. And then Hurricane Wilma hit Miami. So Wilma was a hurricane that went around Miami, looped back, and came back through Miami. I don't know if you remember that hurricane, but it was like 2005. Came through Miami. The lady vacated the property, but left the windows open. So the hurricane went inside the unit, twirled everything around, and then boom, exploded everything back out with the pressure. It looked like a food processor.
And because it's the penthouse, we're talking about the roof, literally.
No, the roof didn't come off. I'm just saying the wind got inside the unit.
That's right, because she left
everything up, and then the pressure of it busted back out. Busted windows, my shit's everywhere. It was a mess.
Okay.
So I come back and I fly down there. I'm like, what happened? She goes, oh, I was such in a hurry. I left all the windows open when I left. I'm like, okay, well, that's not good. So I went in there and I got my brother to come in, help me clean it up. And then we put it back together again. And I was like, what am I going to do with this? So I put it on the market. This was now 06. I put it on the market. We stayed there for New Year's in 05, 06. Put it on the market.
Is Airbnb up and running yet?
No. There's no Airbnb. Okay. So no, VRBO was just starting, so that wasn't really a thing. Airbnb for that place would have been a home run.
Yeah.
So I get the place going, and it I got to sell it. I'm like, I can't deal with this. I'm up here. My family's starting to grow. My daughter's going to private school now, private middle school, going to go to private high school. And I'm like, this has becoming a nuisance at this point because I don't live down there. And I was living up here. Yeah. So I hired the agent who helped me buy the place, the real estate professional that helped me buy it. And she had sold a bunch of units in there. She got a contract within like 5-6 days. We sold it. I tripled my money, doubled my money. I sold it for $360. I bought it for $125 3 years later. So it had really gone up in value. But that's when the market was going through the roof. So in Florida, the market crashed before it did here in DC. Florida, everything happens first in Florida always. By the way, you want a trend? Go down to Florida, see what's going on. It's going to happen here in a year. So the literally, I close on it. 3 months later, I could buy that same unit for $150,000 again, because the market had crashed so bad down there, it had cratered that it was just. I got out at the right nick of time, not by any other reason but luck. Okay, I'm not saying anything. I'm not a genius. Just lucked out. So, I mean, you want to buy a second home. Here are some pointers after buying one and going through it. You should buy it for a vacation spot for your family. Hey, let's come in. I personally, from now on, would do it locally, where you can drive to it. It's within reach, so you can put eyes on it anytime. Ocean City, Virginia Beach, Delaware, Bethany, OBX, Outer Banks, something where it's manageable for you, because this is not going to be your business, right? You're whatever else you do. Owning a second home is not something you're going to do every day of the week, right? You're working your job. So that's one thing. I think it's nice to have it for a nice place for the holidays where your family can come spend the holidays there. You can invite other family to come visit. I think that works out pretty good. There has obviously rental potential. You can rent it out. You can do the, VRBO, Airbnb. You can make some money at it. But when you do that, I mean, there is some drawbacks to that, obviously, right? I mean,
there's risk associated with real estate, and we have to manage those risks.
I don't want to go to negative town just yet. Let me finish. One more positive, obviously, is tax advantages. You buy a place in Florida, you live there 6 months in a day, you don't have to pay any state taxes. So there is some benefit of that, of owning a second home in another state that's tax-free, state taxes, personal income taxes. So the negatives are, here's a couple like little tidbit negatives. One of them is financial aid. When you apply for financial aid at a high school, private high school or college, and you have a second home.
You're talking about for financial aid for your children.
For your kids.
For school.
Yeah, for school.
Financial aid for school. Okay, great.
When you have a second home, they frown on that. They look at that and say, well, if you can afford a second home, why do you need financial aid? And I've had someone tell me that right to my face. And I'm like, well, I don't know it anymore. I sold it. That's when my daughter was starting like middle and high school. So very important.
I mean, is that just shade, or is that regulatory?
No, I think that is regulatory. They're not going to give you money if you have a second home because they figure you can afford a second home. Why do you need financial aid to go to for a kid to go to college? Now, academic scholarships are different. Obviously, I'm talking about straight financial aid, financial assistance to put your kid through college.
Sure.
If you have a second home, it's very difficult to get it.
Okay.
The other thing is the maintenance is a yearly issue. I mean, maintenance. When you rent a home or VRBO or Airbnb, it gets beat up a lot more than a regular yearly rental. And rental people, they're renting. They don't own the property. There's no pride of ownership in according to them, right? They're in it for just to rent it for that week, those weekend, whatever, and they're out. And they treat it a lot worse. The other negative is, the insurance on it, if it's in beachfront, it's really expensive. Obviously, if it's anywhere near the water, and the condo fees, you really got to look out for those condo fees. Like in my situation, the condo fee was twice what my mortgage payment was, right?
Right.
And I put 20% down. So you have to really look at the whole picture and look at what the condo fee includes. Does it include all your utilities, your cable, your water? It includes insurance, but only includes the exterior of the building, not your contents in your building. And I learned that first in Miami.
Right.
I said, well, insurance is going to cover all my damage. They're like, did you have renter's insurance for the inside of the house? I said, no, I own the place. He goes, but we call it renter's insurance because it's only for the inside contents. If you didn't have that, you're out. So those are kind of the negatives of it. Yeah. I think it's a great thing. If you have the extra money and you want a place where you guys can gather the family, it's the best. So that's me.
Talk about security. I just talked to a colleague of mine, interestingly enough, today. They own a property down in Florida. They haven't even renovated and all. They're from Florida. And I said, well, are you going to Airbnb it? Or are you going to rent it out, family? They were like, no, nothing. And then I thought about it. I said, well, if you're not, I mean, I know you have cousins and people around, but what about, a vacant property sitting unattended 4 or 5 months? What? What about security? And his response was a lot of cameras on the site. They can go in and do whatever they do, but they're going to be on camera. Hey, guess what?
Bushcrafter's back. Virginia.
Look what that's and look, I've learned how to bring him or her. I don't know if it's him or her, but bring him onto the screen. I'm getting good at this.
Yeah.
So he says condo fees always high on high-rise buildings with elevators.
He's right.
Nice.
He's right.
Thank
All
you.
right, talk to me, Anthony, about buying a property as an investment property, not necessarily it could be a second home investment property, but an investment property in today's markets. I think there are some opportunities coming. And right now there's some opportunities.
There are. So,
oh boy. Here we go.
Here we go.
That's it. I gotta go to the glasses. You do this without warning me, I gotta go to the glasses.
Oh, we gotta go to glasses. All right.
I didn't know we'd pull out the PowerPoint.
You cannot have credentials like JD and CCIM and not be able to talk to people like this. This is what they want to hear. This is how they want to see it, brother. So look, so you're thinking about you want to be a real estate investor. You want to get into real estate. You want to do some investing. Let's talk about the fundamentals of investment real estate. These are the things basic things, textbook, literally, that you need to focus on. Elements of an investment, NOI and cap rate and value. Cap rate and value. Did you like that?
God.
Look at that.
Mr. PowerPoint. Oh, well.
So there are 4 critical elements here when you're thinking about investing, not buying a home to live in, but to invest. And so here are the things. this cash flow outflows. Hey, this is whip out money. You got to focus on how much cash you have available in your pocket, your savings, your money. You reach your hand in your pocket, and you're going to have to whip this out to invest into getting into this deal. If you are a cash buyer, that call right there was for a client of mine. It's a cash buyer, and it's all cash, no financial partners. And so they are whipping out 100% all cash to make this offer on this property. But if not, you're going to have a lender partner. And in most commercial transactions, you're going to be expected to have to whip out 25% of the purchase price, your skin in the game, to get into it. Inflows. Another thing you're thinking about now is, and Bushcrafter has said, so I'm going to get back to that. I love it on the second home comment. Hang in there. I'm not going to be long. I'm going to come back to you. So inflows. Now, as an investor, you need to be mindful about the money that this investment opportunity is bringing in. You had talked about with the second home, you had money for a mortgage, and then you were enjoying it for your family, but at some point you started asking for rent and money's coming in. You got to be thinking about those things. Timing, when does the cash come in, go out, it's in and out, it's negative. Those things are important. Are you getting your money monthly? Is this investment generating money quarterly returns to you, annual returns to you? And risk. We talked about this. Real estate involves risk. You have to be prepared to manage, right, the likelihood of you getting your money, right? You have to anticipate tenants leaving the doors and windows open on your property. You have to anticipate higher maintenance costs and how you're going to manage it with renter's insurance that your renter may not have in place, but you need to have in place.
So we're paralleling. Some of our things that I said are the same things you're saying here.
And that's exactly right, because the line between, hey, I'm just a property owner, I bought a second property just for my family to enjoy. Yes, but that property, as you have articulated, in the world's mind, particularly if you're going for financial aid, they are looking at you as an investor, owner of another piece of property.
Yeah.
Yes. Here's the big one, guys. We talked about it last week, learning the language of the game of being involved in real estate, commercial real estate, NOI, net operating income. It's critical in commercial investments. It is what we all look to understand. And it's not an easy thing to understand. It's used to pay the debt service, mortgage, and income taxes. And then whatever is left is profit. Understanding the net operating income can be very, very tricky and complicated depending on the nature of the property you're looking at, whether it's a 4-unit or a 40-unit. NOI is what you're looking to understand. What the NOI is, because the NOI, as it points out here, it's an easy formula, guys. Easy formula. NOI is all the money I collect, wherever I'm collecting it from, rent, laundry machines, all the money that comes in, minus operating expenses, the money that goes out, leaves you with net operating income. NOI, not complicated.
Simple math.
There you go. Right? But it's understanding those components. What makes up the NOI and what are operating expenses, particularly when you're evaluating commercial real estate and property. When you're evaluating the property in terms of its value and all, debt service is not an operating expense. Although,
it is to me.
I know it. I know it is. But you see, but we'll get into that later. NOI cap rates. So if you know your NOI, then cap rates are, hey, this is the kind of return I want on my dollars that I've invested in this property. If I put my money in this property, it generates an internal capitalization rate. Internal. I put this money into this building and it's churning, and that's a value. And then there's how much of a return. Again, I'm trying to keep it basic. I'm not trying to get into IRR calculations, internal rate of return calculations. Okay, that's later on. What we're saying here basically is that if you take the NOI and you divide it by the purchase price, you get the cap rate, the return. So that's what they're saying when they're at the bar and they're talking about NOI and cap rates and price. And that's the base simple formula right there.
I've never talked about that at a bar.
Is that right?
No.
Yeah, guys always talking about that. At the napkin, this is what you put on the napkin. Someone says, hey, I got a property is worth $625,000. You say, great. You say, hey, man, what kind of NOI is it throwing off? They say 50,000. You divide that. Oh, that's about an 8 cap. And that's all they're saying is that if you were to purchase that property, the money it is throwing off, 50,000 after expenses, the NOI, that 50,000 is earning you an 8% return on that money. That's the capitalization rate if you bought that property at 625. If you buy the property more, your cap rates, and that's what it becomes when you're evaluating properties, investment properties. It's really about what cap rate is acceptable to you. There are some investors out here, if they are not generating, and it's tough to do. It's tough to do in our market. A 10 cap. I hear it all the time. People are like, yeah, man, I need a 10 cap on the property. I'm like, good luck, man. Good luck.
Especially in this area because property is so expensive.
Exactly. So guys come from other places. They're like, yeah, man, I'm not looking at a property unless it's a 10 cap. I'm like, well, you're not going to be looking at no properties here in this market. I mean, the cap rates here are low.
Yeah.
What does ROI? Where does the ROI, the return on investment? Man, you know what? You are coming up with some great questions here. Let's get to it.
Bushcrafter may be a potential future guest on the show.
Well, certainly the first guest. If we ever get around to having guests, we're going to have them because
he's a fan.
That's right. That's right. Because he throws out the question, where does ROI come in? And it comes in at the end because we're talking about, you hear this term, return on investment, but it's return on the money you've put in and the return of the money you've put in that becomes important in evaluating an investment property. It's not only how much money is your money making while it's in the property for, say, a 5-year term. How much money did you make while in it? But also at the end of the 5-year term, the return of your principal capital, that equity you put in, plus on top of that money becomes your ROI, the return on and return of your initial investment. Thank you. We love Bushcrafter here. Thank you. Yeah. So hold on. We're not ready for that one yet. So cap rates. Cap rates, again, there's an internal cap rate, as we saw the previous slide, how it's arrived at. You can go on Google. There are other financial indicators out here, resources that are providing typical cap rates that you can apply. What's the cap rate in a market for a particular type of property? 4 units, 100 units in a particular market. And that's the typical cap rate one can expect. Here's a formula for establishing value. Again, It's just a quick formula, right?
Mm-hmm.
NOI divided by the cap rate. That's the value of the property. That's your thumbnail. That tells you right off the break where this property should be given the NOI that is generating and the cap rate that you're looking to achieve. So a property has a NOI of $50,000, and you determine that the market cap rate for comparable properties is 8%. What's the approximate value that property should sell for?
$625.
$625. There you go. But if you say you need to get 10%, right? You're gonna get a different value. If you are willing to take 4%, you get a different value. Again, once you get the true NOI, what you use to negotiate on these properties is what cap rate are we arguing about? And that's what you get in a lot of these presentations from owners. You get a property and they say 625 and they say it's an 8 cap. And you're saying in that neighborhood, no, I need to get a 10 cap. And therefore I can't, it's not worth 625 to me.
So 10 cap, you'd list it at 500,000 then, right?
Exactly. Or you're saying at a 10 cap, if you say you need to achieve a 10 cap, you would be offering this seller 500,000. You're saying, look, if your NOI is right, I got to get a 10 cap. It's only worth 500,000 to me as an investor. But if your tolerance is a little more, if you like 8, fine. And again, this is what we do as real estate professionals here at KW Commercial, the commercial division of Keller Williams Realty, when we're working with our clients, helping them understand what are the cap rates for properties that they are interested in, what are the market cap rates that others are paying and earning for these types of properties, and really evaluating what is the NOI for a property. Okay, you like that? Okay, there you go. That,
as usual, we're over.
we are over. We are over. Hey, I wanted to go back. Bushcraft asked you this question. I have a second home in another state only because I want a resident in the city I was born in.
Nice.
He wants to maintain his residency.
So that has nothing to do with anything financial. Right. That's all about inner peace, what makes me happy.
Yes. Yes. And I have a friend who checks in on it twice a month for security. And I also like the tax benefits. I love it. And these are important elements and requirements when you're talking about investing in property. These are the features of it. This is what you should be focused on. Here. I love the Virginia Bushcrafter. Thank you. That he or she,
he's number one fan.
Our number one. Our number
the only fan, but he is number one. We're not paying him to show up either, by the way.
Huh?
We're not paying him to show up and send him these messages.
No.
We're going to meet him one day, though. We are going to meet him one day.
Hold on. Let's see. What he says? The happiest outweighs the carry cost.
So he bought it for the heart.
There you go. I love
the family. Yeah.
Yes. There you go. Good stuff. Okay. We are 10 minutes over our time here with you all. It's been a pleasure. Again, this is another episode of Chasing Gazillions. It's not the same as making millions.
It's close, though. It's very close. Getting closer, by the way. Every episode, it inches a little bit closer.
Wednesdays with Fernando and Anthony, two real estate professionals just kicking the can down the street, sharing with you our life experiences on this road towards becoming successful real estate professionals, because success only comes first, before hard work in the dictionary. I'm gonna get that down better next week, but that is a true statement. Success only comes first before hard work.
All right, let's go, Caps. Come on.
Caps, I love it. Is that game gonna be televised? Can I see it somewhere?
It is. Yeah, it's televised right now.
Okay, well,
You want to
then
know
let's
where?
all go cheer and root for the Caps.
Hang on, let me tell you where it's televised. It is televised on ESPN.
ESPN. All right, Caps.
ESPN2. I'm sorry, ESPN2. The Deuce.
Isn't one of our lenders? One of our lender clients, isn't she a big Caps fan?
Well, if she is, I wish she would have given me some tickets for the game on Monday. I was begging people. Got nothing.
Okay. Well,
anyone out there have tickets for Friday night? I'd love to go.
Okay. Well, maybe we should call her.
But I don't sit upstairs. I do not sit upstairs. I can't. I'm afraid of heights. I got to be at least 200 level.
Is there a box upstairs? Because I only enjoy the box experience. Is there a box upstairs?
Nice. There's a suite. If there's a suite, I'm in.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
All the best till next week. I'm Anthony Bowling with the Anthony Bowling Group. And remember, our leverage relationships will save you time and make you money. Yeah.
Always make you a little bit of money. Thank you, everybody.
All the best.
Take
care.
And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
We will. Bye.